Welcome once again. Now, the other time analysis were done about Pastor Siju, who threw a birthday bash and invited, in quote, worldly artists, Flavor. He was winding his waist, and Pastor Siju and husband, both of them, they were winding their waist in the Lord. Anyway, Pastor Adeboye, the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, asked them to step down. They refused. They said, look, if you want us to step down, it's okay. We will scratch off Rccg from the Trinity Towers because we loan money on our name to build that that tower. So, Pastor, if you want to go to court, you can. I am not going to dwell on this one. If you have not watched that video, you'll be seeing it at the end of this one. Now, it is about a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, one of their top pastors. He has been accused. In fact, not just he has been accused. This is far much more than someone accusing you, like a member accusing a pastor. No, not at all, because this has given Pastor Adeboye some headache, and people have pointed fingers at Pastor Adeboye and the whole structure of Rccg. They said, this ministry, you are covering up a lot of wicked things, wicked acts. Now, the question I want to throw to you guys, I'll be asking you at the end of this video. I want us to dwell on this. You're about to watch, you're about to hear from the daughter of the pastor. I mean, the pastor impregnated her daughter underage, got rid of the baby, and has been molesting her daughter. And it's not like the mother of this lady is not alive. Presently, she's 18 years old. And that abuse has been going on for a long time. And Mommy Gio is involved. I mean, the wife of this Rccg pastor. And this has trickled down, or let us say flown up. There's always a ladder. It has reached, let's make it much easier so that people who are not members of the Redeemed Christian Church will understand. It has gotten to the PA and also possibly to the ears of one of the strongest in Rccg, and that is the father-in-law of Leke Adeboye, that plumpy son of Pastor Adeboye that wants to become the GO. He's always like talking anyhow on social media, trying to lambast people, not understanding that people brought money together to build. And some people have even said corrupt people in Nigeria brought money together, saying that they have been blessed. They brought it to church. But we don't want to dwell on that because, it's a gray area, isn't it? It's a gray area. Let us listen to this emotional and painful narration, recount of this young lady, of what daddy did. Daddy did it. This is not, I'm just using the word alleged. Daddy did it because daddy confirmed that he did it. But Rccg is trying to quickly cover it up. But you will see what happened next. Before proceed, like and share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell.
Baby girl, can you tell me your full name?
My name is Rccg.
Okay, can you tell me where you are staying, where you are living?
I stay at Itire Oduero.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18 years.
18. What month? Are you just 18 or?
I just clocked 18 October 23.
Okay, yes. So, can you tell me who is your dad?
His name is Pastor Emmanuel Orekoya.
Pastor Emmanuel Orekoya. At which church?
Redeemed Christian Church of God, Wisdom Tabernacle.
What do you say?
Redeemed Christian Church of God, Wisdom Tabernacle.
At where?
Along the Lawansin area.
Okay. Can you tell me what your dad has been doing to you?
He do molest me.
Molest in what sense?
By sleeping with me.
Is he with your conscience, with your consent, or is raping you?
He's raping me now, my consent.
Wow. When did your dad start touching you, and how did it all started?
Well, it started when I was in SS. I can't really remember, but when all what I knew was it started whereby it started like touching my private parts. It would say it wants to check if I'm a virgin and all of that. So at that issue, my mom got to know. Then my mommy told him it's not right and all of that. So there was an occasion where we went for my uncle's wedding. So when we came back, only my dad came to the house to drop some of the wedding load. Then the next thing he did was he brought out his mouth for me to suck, and I told him I could not do that. So after then, he started like sleeping with me.
That would be how long now? Like how many years?
Well, close to 2 years.
That means you were like 16 years old then when it all started.
Is it 16 or 15? I think 15.
15 plus, around 15 or something like that, okay? Can you recollect how many times he has raped you?
More than 5 times, but I cannot really recollect. It's more than, maybe uncountable.
Uncountable. Have you ever pregnant for him before?
Yes.
How many times?
There'll be 3 to 4. Was it 3 to 4, 4 to 5? I actually wrote it down on my door. I can't remember.
So how did you now do the pregnancy?
No, I do use pill.
Okay, to flush it out.
Yes.
How did you get to know that you are pregnant? You were pregnant then?
No, I do use PT strip anytime he has done what he wants to do, like to check if I'm safe or not.
Have you ever had any abortion before, like DNC in a hospital or something?
Yes, no, I can't really remember, because the last time I went to the hospital where they did oral tests and all of that, and where my mom took me to, so I don't know what was in the result of the test. All I just knew then, my tummy was really paining me and all of that. I landed in the hospital, so I could not really say about that, but I think my mom could like have more say to that aspect.
Okay, have you reported this anywhere before?
Yes.
Where?
Well, more than 10 places. I've reported, I've written letters to Human Rights. Redeem has got to know about it. I've gone to Warif. I've gone to Mirabel Center at Ikeja. So recently, the issue got to Radio Ibadan, whereby they later brought it to Lagos to DSVA, Sexual and Domestic Violence at Alausa. So they referred the case back to Bariga, because that's the closest place. But my dad had to like use money to cover it up, and then I was being pressured and everything that should withdraw the case and all of that. So I had no choice than to withdraw the case, and also they used money to close it. So the same whereby Alausa people used to reach me and all of that, my mom had to collect it, so they won't be able to reach me on the case anymore. So that was how the case ended.
So that means your mom knows about it as well?
Yes.
And she's not doing anything about it?
The last issue with Alausa, she cried, she begged. She was like, I should let everything go and forgive him, that my daddy wasn't going to try such again.
And it still continues?
Yes.
When last did he rape you again?
No, I think, was it Wednesday or Tuesday? But yeah, Wednesday.
This week?
This week.
That is, let me check the date of that Wednesday, please. What is today's date?
19.
Today is 19. If Saturday is 19, that Wednesday will be 17, around
16. 15, 16.
On the 15 and 16.
Either 15, 16,
of November,
yes.
2022.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, this is my last 2 questions I have for you. I was told you've tried to commit. Why that?
Because I was basically tired of everything that was going on around me.
Then, what about I was told you are an asthmatic patient as well.
Yes,
And did your dad trying to do anything about it?
He did not do anything about it.
So, okay, last question. What do you want the whole world to do for you? What do you want exactly?
Well, I don't really know, and I know because I would go by justice, and I might not go by justice, but all the same, leaving justice apart, because I'm in the middle of that, I can't really figure out that. I would just want them to, like, I don't want to live with him again. Yes, and also I don't want my education to stop or anything that would jeopardize my career or my future. That's all.
Okay. If I have any more questions, I will invite you again and I will ask it properly. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Temilolua.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. Thank you, Temilolua.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, everyone. This was what I did. We did on November, and do you know what happened? Rccg, they knew what they are doing, so they are trying to cover up this story. They were trying to cover up this story, but the girl has reported this case to several places before coming online, before coming on social media. So when she came on social media, I happened to break the news. I got it through somebody. So when they introduced her to me, I pick up the story. And we did our investigation, and I found out that it's nothing but the truth. I have series of voice notes. Even I spoke with the dad. The dad confirmed Olóhun odo okòhun wọnú ẹ̀ pé bo òun ti wọ́bọ̀ díẹ̀. For those of you that don't understand Yoruba, I don't know how I will. The man confessed that he only, I don't want to say it in English, but that he didn't penetrate, but he only used his hand to test her virginity. But what do I want to bring out? And I asked the man, why will you do that? I interviewed the mom. I found out that the mom is this girl mother. She's another useless mother. She's one of those women that my husband. Instead of you to let your husband know that what he's doing is wrong, this woman begin to cover up for him. Apparently, this abuse has been going on for like when she was 15 years, because according to her, what she narrated, that after the brothers they went for wedding, when they came back, nobody's at home, the father slept with her and stuff like that. But what do I want to bring out? I'm happy they finally arranged him. So those of you who have not seen the story, I can read it for you, but I've summarized it. And I still have the father's voice note. I have the mother's voice note. I have even the sister who happens to be in Abeokuta at that time. I did a thorough investigation. I had to remove that girl from there because she said she doesn't want to live. She doesn't want to live with the parents anymore. Because apparently with all this report and everything, I thought the man should stop. The man refused to stop. Like until when she came to us, maybe a few days before she came to us, that Baba still I don't know, Nakademus her. But to my greatest surprise, I felt this girl should not go back home. Immediately I listened to that voice note. I spoke to her on phone. I said, you are not leaving. You are not going back to that home. And I called the father that this girl is not coming back. But I can't see her phone. The church member and all of them and their mommy church and everybody started calling her, hey, who sent you to Morino? How did you get to Morino? You want your father to go to jail? You don't know that Maureen? And at the end of the day, eventually, she recorded. I told her, anybody that call you, record her. People, somebody, I have the voice note. Those of you that follow it, they, according to that pastor, say Pastor Odeshola, and you know Odeshola is one of the big guys. You know, Leke Adeboye father-in-law is Odeshola. So Odeshola PA, they called her that they want her to come to the camp. So eventually that girl ran away. When the pressure was too much for her, they were calling her from everywhere, and Redeem is trying to cover up. That was why. But eventually, Lagos state government took over the whole thing, and you can see the results. But what do I want to bring out for those of you who are watching me? This is a clear, you see, Redeemed Christian Church of God. Their mass ordination. This is the result. This is the final outcome of their useless mass ordination. Anything that has money, anybody just to come and do business, they call it church. They will ordain anything, anybody that, even armed robber that carry God self, they will ordain the armed robber to call a pastor. What if anybody that can, Rccg, you guys have never seen anything. You know, I've been saying this, that their secret will soon be open. They have been in the news in the last few weeks. More and more and more and more and more is going to come out. I tell you guys, our Baba will not die. He will live to see all the evil he has done in Africa. Whatever you want to call me, abuse me, go call me. Now today, when I don't, they abuse me. But thank God, the whole thing just happen. Because there is nothing like godliness. They forget about Holy Spirit. They forget about that is God. They forget about what is called pastor.
Is this?
All their 5 minutes work is a pure business strategy.
Let's say such as Rccg or any church at all, deal with issues, sensitive issues, criminal issues such as this one, behind closed doors. Is there any teaching in the Bible? You know, it is always said that do not take each other to the court like you know, believers. That's what they often say. Believers should not take each other to the court. But when it comes to such, you know, I mean, terrible like this one, what do you think? Do you think that Rccg should have washed their hands off from this pastor and allowed him in court in his weakness? You know, most of them will say it is weakness, while some might say some other things. But let us first of all deal with this one. Then we'll talk about the other aspect of it. Well, Rccg, according to Maureen, that got involved in this before it was yanked off, before she was, I mean, the lady involved was told not to deal with Maureen and that your father will go to jail. And according to her, these calls came from Rccg top tiers, you know, the top, allegedly those top people. And she made reference, in fact, specifically spoke about the PA. And it could be that the PA is acting on his own without Pastor Adeboye, or the committee that has been instituted for such in the church, if they have any, or an emergency committee. Or it's just something that they discuss among themselves within, like, look at what we are going to do. Let us call her, bring her in and deal with her. We cannot allow our dirt. We cannot allow this son of Baal, even though he's a pastor, we cannot allow him demean or disgrace Rccg. We cannot allow him stain the good name that we have built over time. It is possible. I am not saying that we should blame Pastor Adeboye directly for this act. You cannot blame Adeboye for the act of another person. After all, everybody will work his own salvation personally. But there are certain things that have been pointed out, and I know we are all human beings at the end of the day. You might have a better, good intention, but this intention turns into something else. And as human beings, we often will say some things that other people will hear, and they will kind of judge us for what we said, or try to dig pit into whatever it is we have said. Even as pastors, pastors, they talk every time. Even bloggers, you'll find comment section, you'll find people that are for you, people that are against you, people that will lambast you, and people have ways of saying whatever it is that they want to say, regardless of how you put it out. If you like, speak in between, not here or there. Try to be neutral. You say, you're a blogger. Say anything you want to say. Is this not your platform? And if you say what you want to say, they'll be like, how dare you? But if it has to do with sensitive things such as church, how can you speak against God? How can all of a sudden they turn their pastors to God? Then if you are in support of the atrocity, they will say, fear God, and they'll begin to quote Bible verses. So what does it mean? Say what you need to say, how you need to say it, regardless. That's just it. Say it and stand by whatever it is that you've said. And if there is update or whatever it is new, then you can as well come back and say, oh, sequel to, or as per what I said before, this is it, this is it. Now, it is sad, isn't it, that a man, regardless of his status or position, will do this to his own daughter. And the mother of this lady, this young lady, is even involved in it, like trying to cover up, like, are you going to put your father in jail? It could be that she is also jobless, it could be that she's jobless. So if daddy goes to jail, if Daddy Gio goes to jail, what will become of us? He has done it. It is bad. It is sad. We all know that we are just packaging this pastor of a thing because we've gone to Bible school, Rccg, or what is it called? And we have learned how to do the preaching of a thing. And to ordain, just ordain. And that exactly is what brings Pastor Adeboye into it. This mass ordination. I know Rccg it's a big church, and Pastor Adeboye, in a quest to expand ministry, maybe he said this is what God told him. I don't know. Maybe God told him, or he thought about it, like, since the Bible says go into the world and preach the gospel, let us expand. 5-minute walk, you have a church. 5-minute walk, you have a church. So you don't need to go too far to get into a church. And now about the franchise of a thing. Recently, like I told you at the beginning, one of the billionaire parish, I mean, when you talk about billionaire parish, when you talk about the vein and the blood vessel, the core, the inner chrome, when you talk about the base line, when you talk about the solid financier of Rccg, we are talking about these churches. Maybe you find few in Abuja. In Lagos, you find those heavyweight, such as Wigwe that passed away and his family, and many other people. Those are the handful of billionaires that Pastor Adeboye talked about. This mass ordination and people franchising Rccg, it is the same business that you find in Europe, in America, and maybe in Nigeria, where someone will pick your own name, such as Mr. Biggs or Nestle Foods, or any name at all that is strong, big, and famous. Rccg is known. Rccg, they have branches. If it is one, they will always have something there. Now, this is operated like a franchise where you attend RCBC or whatever, you do their training, and once you are done with this, and at times maybe some of them do not, but I think it will be one of their policy or rules that you have to be trained in their ministry, get a certificate as a pastor. Then you move down to wherever it is. Let's say you are domiciled in the US and UK, Europe, anywhere. You look for a part, you loan money from the bank. They are not going to give you money. You loan money from the bank, or if you've got money, you set up a place, and You put RCCG. Once people see RCCG, since they are used to going to RCCG, they just come in and you begin to operate in the RCCG, package. But the money aspect of it, the church has you have to give percentage to the church. You package it, you take your own, like a franchise, like, okay, don't worry, I'm going to pay for that RCCG title, for that RCCG that I'm putting on this church. So when problem begin, then you have this Siju situation, this Siju Iluyomade kind of scenario will come up where they will challenge Adeboye saying, how dare you tell us to relinquish our position as pastor? And take your RCCG. What does that mean? Franchise. Take your RCCG and let us breathe. Leave these Trinity Towers, of course, that cost a lot of money to build. Definitely, they are still paying loan. So here, we have mass ordination of pastors. Mass ordination of pastors. You don't know who they are? Okay, they've gone through the training. I know that human beings cannot, regardless of how much you try to even study, observe, and unless you work with the Holy Spirit and in selection, and that will help you a lot. Unless, in ordination and all of that, unless those people go AY. After all, there are people that God called and they became servants of Lucifer at the end of the day. They became servants of the flesh. Human beings are like that. In fact, when God created human beings, he regretted, like, why did I even create these people? So I'm not going to really, but the thing is that if that is not looked into, there is still more that will happen. More will happen. It's all over. It's not just RCCG. Many churches have their problems. They have issues that they are dealing with. Go to Mountain of Fire. Go to Deeper Life. Go to Chris Oyakilome's ministry. I mean, these big that have branches. Go to Oyedepo. We saw some of their pastors coming out to scream, saying that that the GO Oyedepo sacked them because they were not bringing money, not because they were not winning souls. They were not bringing in money. So it's more about how much can you bring. Being fruitful is bringing money, not winning souls. That is what it is to them. So that's why people conclude as saying Redeem is more of a business center. It's a business center. Every 5 minutes is more like having a collection center where money will be brought in. Arrangements will be made with the pastor, and once the ministry begins to boom, particularly those back in those days they had those Apapa family, they had those those were where the big wigs, the big boys started. Slowly we started having some bankers in Nigeria, some people, politicians who have looted, bankers who have but they are bringing it into the household of God. Like at the end of the day, there are Bible verses that can be used for that. But when we look at it, do you think that some of these things can be done abroad? Abroad that many people run to? Some of these things cannot be done abroad. Some of these things cannot be done abroad. I'm not saying they don't have their own criminal enterprise. Some of their charity, they are full of, terrible criminal, whatever. But at least, let people breathe a little bit. Let them breathe a little bit. Not that you just, these things, it is somehow. So all of these things are interconnected down to what will be done to this man. If not that the state government, Lagos state government, I think this happened last year, but eventually he has been, sentenced for this action that he took. If this did not get to the state government, they would have covered it up. So the question that I'm kind of asking is this: how does it sound normal? Is it biblical? Is it normal? Is it Christian-like for them to have covered such a man without reporting him straight? Or they would have dealt with it because they might believe that this man is simply fulfilling what some ancestral powers or spirit, or it could be from the woman, some demonic activities propelling the man to lay with his own daughter. Maybe that's what they wanted to deal with. Or this is how they've been covering up many of this atrocity. There's a thin line between, this covering up of wickedness and also trying to deal with it as Christians, like brothers and sisters inside, without opening up to, in quote, unbelievers. What do you think? What do you think about this? And what do you think should be done? What do you think are the appropriate measures? Because I know that human beings are the most difficult to manage. Yeah, human beings are very crafty. Even the Bible says the heart of human beings is deep. Who can find it? Only God. Only God. It's only God that can find it. People can be pretentious. People can quote Bible verses and all of that. And they become pastors and they take advantage of choristers. They do terrible things. These things are there. Some say it's weakness. Some say it's flesh. You know, a lot of things. A lot of things. A lot of things. Just imagine a pastor. Not if I don't want to even attach that pastor of a thing. Attaching pastor is like we are making him, you know, superior, or like no, he's a human being. But imagine a father doing this to his own daughter, to a point where the lady has been put in a family waste, you know, maybe 1 or 2 times, and they have found a way to evacuate it. Like evacuate it. You heard the audio, you heard the voice note. This is real. This is not made up. This is not, you know, trying to tarnish the image of the church. No, this is for real. This is for real. So where the problem is the approach of the church in dealing with this cancer. We're dealing with this. That is where I think Maureen Badejo is sort of troubled. Everyone has their own strength and weakness, and it's not as if she's also holy, but she believes that if you say you're a pastor or whatever, we must put you guys on that benchmark. We must put you on the benchmark. You cannot pretend that, you know, driving that expensive car, people kneeling down for you, holding your Bible, private jet, and all of the extras that you guys get, or that thing God, that image that you guys have built for yourselves. Don't think you have all of this and then do anyhow. No, you must be accountable. I think that is basically what it is, because you are enjoying all of these special care, lifelong, you know, enjoyment. Children enjoying the same, and you just do anyhow and think people will keep quiet about this. Say no, you have to prove and show yourself upright. If you want to enjoy private jet, enjoy being called Daddy Gio, Mommy Gio, have your Bible held for you, people kneel down, people run here and there before you speak, at your beck and call and all of that, I think maybe that is what it is. I don't know what your thoughts are as regards this one. What is happening in your own church, in your own parish, in your own denomination? Drop it in the comment section. We can talk about this. There are cases out there that need to be looked into. There are people suffering. Imagine, this one is not a church member. No, not at all. This is not usher, choir. No. This is, at least from what we know, biological child of this pastor, and he didn't see anybody out there to bench. The only person that he felt that he could bench, the only person that he felt that he could lay with, that he could do things with, is his own daughter. And his own mother is involved. His mother is aware of it, still blaming her daughter, saying, that's my daughter, she's too loose. What is this thing? Are you sure that these people are not, I don't want to use, I don't really know. What kind of people are these people? Because some idol worshippers, they still have respect and honor for themselves. So I don't want to attach religion or whatever, or denomination to this. But I want to ask, what kind of human being? What would have gotten into them? Are you sure these people are normal? Are they insane? How can someone do this? Like and share. Like and share. Subscribe if you've not done so. Turn on the notification bell. See you in the next update.